Well, there we go. So welcome back to the sawmill, friends. Today is Sawmill Saturday, but I'm not sure what day you'll see this video, so if it's not Saturday, look over me, guys. I'm doing some traveling here in a few days. I'm trying to get a bunch of loose ends caught up here at the mill, but hopefully this will go out live on Saturday, but I'm not sure. So friends, we have a good one lined up for today. This is a cherry. It's about 9 feet long, and it has what should be a really nice crotch right there. Should have some fantastic grain hiding under the bark on that one. This should be a pretty good log. But before we get this one to the sawmill, I need to do something. And that is, we gotta head over here to the log yard and show this logger where to put these logs at. We just got in a nice load of poplar, guys. Let's go check it out. Friends, let me tell you about today's video sponsor, Brunt. Friends, if you've ever worked around a sawmill for any length of time, there's two things that you'll know by lunchtime every day. The first thing is you're going to have sawdust in places you didn't know you had. And the second thing is, if you don't have on proper boots, you're going to know it pretty soon. Now, there's not a lot I can do about the first problem, sawdust gets everywhere, but the second problem, I can control what's on my feet every day, and that's why I wear Brunt boots here at the farm every day. I've been wearing these boots here for the past few years, and they've never let me down. I'm not just going to show you a pair of brand new boots and say you need to buy these. Check this out, friends. I wear these boots every day. Here I am putting them on my front porch, which I do every morning. You can see these things are weathered because I wear them every day. Every single day. These almonds made by Brunt are my favorite boot, and I have more than one pair. Let me explain why. Guys, I just got in another pair of these almonds made by Brunt, and these are a different color than the ones I'm wearing right now. These are brown, of course, and the reason I'm going to have two pair of these is because these are not just for working in my opinion. Look how nice these are. They're lightweight. They're not heavy on your feet all day. You can slip them on and you're ready to go. You can wear something like this to a business meeting, maybe to dinner or church on Sunday. They just look real good, guys. Not only are they functional, but they look nice when you wear them. Friends, these boots are priced accordingly, and Brunt says you can take them and try them out on the job, and if you don't like them, you can send them back for free. All right, guys, I can save you some money here. When you use my code OutofTheWoods10, you can get $10 off your first order with Brunt. All right, guys, that's a good load right there. These are all poplar. They're 16-footers. And my goodness, friends, these are nice and straight right here. It pays to have a good logger, guys. I told him I was wanting some 16-foot poplar that were really straight so I could do some 16-foot long boards. And that's what he brought me, guys. I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but that one right there has some mineral stain. So there's a really good chance there might be some rainbow poplar in that one. Got a little bit of stain on that one, not as much. But there might be a few in here that have some rainbow in them. I tell you what, guys, for me, it's like Christmas morning when you're a kid. When a load of logs shows up, guys, I am just so excited. It never gets old. It doesn't matter what I'm getting in here, unless it's hickory. I'm not a fan of hickory, but anything else, I get pretty excited about it. That's a nice load right there. And if you want to know what I pay for my logs, you got to join my Patreon to find that out. I put all that stuff over there. I'll break down how much I pay by the board foot and how much I get out of this lumber when I sell it. It's a little bit too much for these videos here. A lot of you guys don't watch these videos to know how much I'm making off this stuff. So I'll put that over on the Patreon page for those guys to see. There's a link down below. It's $5 a month. Go check it out if you have time, or if you want to know what we pay for stuff here. It's not as expensive as you think. All right, friends, let's get to sawing here. I'm gonna warm up the band mill. And we're going to do 9/4 slabs on this cherry today. That's 2 1/4 inches on the thickness. Live edge on both sides, no trimming off or nothing like that. And I think we're looking at about 9 foot right here on the length. Should get some really nice slabs out of this. So we got 3 slabs cut so far. The first one on the very bottom was the outside. Actually, the first 2 are from both the outside edges of the log. Not much figure in those. But this one right here, friends, is not too bad. When it comes to cherry crotch figure, it's not as good as black walnut. In my opinion, walnut crotch figure is the best there is. But cherry is not too bad. You can see we got the figure right there. We do have a little bit of a void going on right there, but that's not a big deal. A good woodworker can take this out of my kiln, flatten it, and kind of dig out that bark and put some epoxy in there to make that solid. And I tell you, there's some nice figure right here. It's just hard to see. Let's throw some water on it and see what that does to it. But fair warning, it's not going to be as good as walnut, but it's pretty good still, not too bad. Well, there we go. That's actually showing up a lot better than I thought it would. I've not done any water on cherry like this in a long time. People ask me sometimes why these live edge slabs are so much more expensive than lumber. There's two reasons I can think of. Number one, they're harder to dry. You gotta let them air dry for a longer period of time. Then they go into the kiln, and that's a whole other story out there as far as drying goes. So the drying's difficult, it takes longer, and you gotta handle these a lot more often, and they're heavier. You're kind of charging for the labor when you look at it that way. You know, 1x6s, you can grab those and throw them on the tractor forks or whatever. These right here, it takes a little work. Even with a hydraulic sawmill, you still got to manhandle some. And that's one reason I think they're a little bit more expensive. There's a lot of work that goes into these, a whole lot of work. So guys, I just took a peek at the slab under this one right here, and that's probably going to be the best slab of the day as far as the crotch figure goes. It looks really nice. It's got it in most of them, but that one right there, it's going to look really nice on it. Man, this is heavy. Get you up to speed here on Cabbage the cat in that situation. Of course, you guys know what happened there. He got killed, and the owner is not doing nothing about it as far as keeping the dogs restrained. They're still running loose over there on the other side of the mountain behind me. So I got with the sheriff's office, I got with my attorney, we talked about some stuff, and the sheriff's office is going to charge her with letting her dogs run at large and causing damage, which was, you know, in my instance here, death to one of my animals. So she's gonna have to go to court. I'll have to go to court as well, but I've done that for a living for 15 years, and it doesn't bother me at all. So hopefully we'll go before the judge and let him work it out. And they don't give you jail time in this state if your dog gets out and kills somebody's animal, but they do give you a fine and court cost and all that stuff. So I don't want her money, but hopefully the state will charge her as much as they can, because she's not trying to do any better at all. Any better at all. Those dogs are still running loose over there. And you know, guys, if a bear would have killed him, or like a coyote or something like that, it would not have bothered me as much, because that's just, you know, that's nature. That's what, you know, that's what happens. You know, we live out in the country, and he was an outside cat. But something like that was totally preventable. You got an irresponsible dog owner who has a dog, and you know they know that it causes damage, or it has a tendency for violence. I mean, you'd be blind if you didn't. And to also know that it went out and killed somebody's animal, and you're still not doing nothing about it. You know, you're not being proactive at all. That's what makes it bad, because it was 100% preventable. He's lived here for 6 years. Nothing's never bothered him. So there we go, guys, the best crotch figure out of all these slabs. It's going to really look good here in a minute when we throw the water on it. And you can't really tell unless you're here in person, but we do have some curl going on as well in this cherry right here. This will look fantastic once it comes out of the kiln and gets flattened. And a little bit of oil put on it for a finisher, whatever the woodworker puts on it. This right here would make a fantastic bar top or a small coffee table. All kinds of possibilities with a cherry slab like this. Sure is nice. Guys, what do y'all think about that one? That's probably the nicest one in the whole stack right there. If this was your slab, let me know down in the comments what you would build with it. I would make this into a really interesting desk right here. I'd leave the live edges on it, a little bit of a curve down there. It'd be a really nice desk. It'd be really long, but man, that would be really nice right there. Maybe I should keep one of these for myself and build a desk this winter. Who knows? But anyways, let me know down in the comments. So friends, I am done for the day. Like I said earlier, I'm headed out of town here in a couple of hours, so I got to head up to the house, get cleaned up, pack my bags, and take a little ride down the road and look at some sawmills. That's right, I said sawmills. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anyways, guys,